Nobody deal with terror in that way. We fail to fight against terrorism because we are fighting with our hands tied behind our back. Because democracies have limitations, moral limitations, justice limitations, ethical limitations, while they have no limitations. They can come one morning and explode the World Trade Center, killing thousands of people, just luckily come in the morning, not at noon. Otherwise, they were killing tens of thousands of people in one action of terror. They don't give a damn, they don't care. For their targets, it's okay. And I'm sorry to say that many countries sometimes understand it, trying to find justification to this terror action. They pity, we should have a pity on them, they have problems, etc. There is no forgiveness or pitiness for terrorism. In my opinion, if democracies will not understand it, we are going to lose that war. And listen to me, we're living in terror during the last 60 years of our existence. Everything happens in Israel will knock your doors. And you have to be aware of that, not to stay still, to do something about it. I was offering that time when we have 11 September, I was Minister of Justice of Israel, or Justice of Israel. And I called the Attorney General of the United States at that time, and I suggested him to call a convention in Washington, invite any country who wants to come, and create some kind of covenant to fight against terrorism, make some kind of laws which every country should ratify if they want to, and if ratify it, those laws will be prevailing in every country. For example, make the life of terrorists much more harder to move from a country to country. Make a situation when any country who is asking for a warrant for terrorists will prevail automatically in every other country. He thought at the time it was a good idea, but such convention had been gathered. The United States had done a lot of actions, but it's not this kind of covenant. So everybody fights for himself. Every country fights for itself, believe that if sometimes they're giving up to terrorism, or they're giving a hand to terrorism, or pay the terrorism, they will stay quiet. It's unbelievable. And I believe that it's not working. The fact is not working. You know, without being united, we will not be states. If we want to stay democratic states, we have to be united, especially in fighting in this rhythm of terror. And the very strange thing is when you see very extremist leaders of countries which have no human rights, no democracies, calling for wiping Israel. For example, Ahmadinejad in Iran. Nobody cares. Denying the Holocaust, nobody cares. Taking North Korea. They don't give a damn if any agreement has been done with the United States, keeping launching missiles, developing nuclear weapons, making proliferation of nuclear weapons all over the world. Pakistan with this Kabbalah Han, which make the same proliferation of nuclear weapons to different parts of the world. Nobody cares. Iran is a very good example how they're manipulating the world trying to achieve nuclear weapon. Being a threat, not only to Israel, it's a threat, in my opinion, to all the free world. It's a very big threat to all the moderate Arab countries. That's the reason why the Saudi government came with initiative to try to make peace in the Middle East, what we call the Arab Initiative. And I'm here to tell you, I want to finish with a positive thing. I'm here to tell you that I'm from those who are preaching on the last 5 years in Israel to take this initiative. Because maybe it is a window of opportunity for a regional governance to make a regional peace, not only with Palestinians. Because I'm afraid that Palestinians alone will never sign an agreement alone with Israel, because they're afraid to do so, because of their constituencies, unless they will have the support of the moderate Arab leaders. So why Saudi come with this initiative? Not because they became Zionists suddenly, but because they understand with the other moderate Arab countries that nuclear Iran is a big threat to their existence. It's the only way, maybe, to isolate Iran is to make peace with Israel. It will change the agenda of their life and our lives. When you come to think that on the last decade alone, the Middle East purchased weapons in the amount of $200 billion. Think what could we do with that money for poverty in our areas, for food, clean water, health services, instead of using it for war. So I think that this is the only chance, in my opinion, really to achieve peace in the Middle East. Because it is a window of opportunity. As far as we have this situation, that the Arab League is willing to go to that direction, why to make peace only with Palestinians while we can, with the same price, having peace with all 30 or 34 moderate Arab countries, which we have no conflict with them, except of the Palestinian problem. We should, in my opinion, adopt that initiative, follow it up, support it, because that's the way to bring us and the Palestinians, to give them the confidence really to sign an agreement with Israel and keep us peacefully at last. That's what we're looking for, to live peacefully in the Middle East. I hope to be alive in the short time to see this happening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Sheetrit. Spoken with the passion that I expected. And there are obviously issues that we need to come to and look at very much in that. The issue, I mean, clearly terrorism is a very big factor in security, but the causes of terrorism we have to look at too. Clearly, nuclear weapons proliferation is huge, but there are many countries that have responsibility for proliferating and having nuclear weapons without declaring them. Sergei, your